Hey, it's Dave. Hey, I recently got a comment, and the commenter said, "Hey, why don't you do a video about why a four string and not a five string?" And I thought that was a pretty good video, although I think Billy Sheehan is the best person that I've heard address this issue, and I'll probably, most of my reasons would be the same reasons that he would have, that he gave earlier, and I certainly don't compare myself to Billy Sheehan, but in that sense, I share the same opinion as he does about why you would play the four string over a five string. But I did actually play the five string as my main bass for about a year and a half. I believe probably around 1997. And I did eventually get used to it. But for whatever reason, I just decided it wasn't for me. I think the thing that really changed my mind about the five string was when I got this hip shot put on my bass, which allows this bass to drop into D. If you've never seen one of these, so it goes from, it just drops the E string into D. So basically, when you think about a five string, the difference between a five string and a four string is technically it can play five lower notes. That's the only difference. So below the E string, it can play down to a B. It can play these five. It can play those five notes. What I look at it is with a four string, if you've got a hip shot on it, now we're talking four notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you know how to bend the bass a little bit, what I like to do is, I can actually get that note. I'm getting a little, there we go. If I just push on the neck, I can get C sharp. I don't have to do anything. So now I'm down to C and B are the two notes I can't get to. So it's hard for me to justify playing a bass with more strings on it just so I can get two notes that I can't get with this bass. The other thing with a five string is it's actually a different instrument than the four string, and you play it differently. And what I mean by that is a four string bass, because of the scale of the bass, you end up playing horizontally a lot, up and down the neck this way. On a five string, you end up playing vertically more. Your hand position stays in one spot more. And that's because, especially like on a five string, in this position here, with your index finger, of course, on the fifth fret, you can get all of the notes. You can get all of these notes right there. So you got the low E on the B string, and you can play a lot of different stuff right in this one position on a five string. So as you work playing a five string, you tend to develop different patterns than you do on a four string. So that's what I mean. You play it differently. The other thing is on a five string, you tend to attack the E string differently, and that's because you've got the B string in the way of the E string. So there's some adjustments that you have to make, and since it is I believe it's a different instrument than the four string, and it demands that you play it differently. Most music though, especially music that is based around the guitar, a four string bass is completely adequate for, because the lowest string on a guitar is E and the lowest string on the bass is E, so it kind of works out just great. And if you think about most jazz music, most upright basses are four strings as well, so you can cover pretty much any jazz song with a four string bass. And those are the reasons. The other thing too is a five string bass has a lot wider neck, which can be uncomfortable. It's just a lot more neck. A stick string bass is even worse. I mean, You really would have to spend a lot of time with one of those basses to get used to it. Me, I'm too old to do that. I've been beating on the 4-string for too many years, and I guess you can't teach an old dog new tricks. But I like the 4-string bass. I think it's wholly adequate to play anything that I ever want to play. And I mean, my opinion is I'm not going to give up the playability of a 4-string neck, and also knowing all of the patterns that I already know. I'm not going to relearn all of that just so I can get 2 extra notes. But I'm not denigrating you if you play a 5-string, because there's a lot of great 5-string bass players out there, and a lot of people really like the 5-string. I don't think it's as popular now as it was like 20 years ago, but it was new then. It was a new thing. For the most part, a lot of those, the low B and the low C, those notes are so muddy. I mean, you're not going to use them all the time. So, like I said, I think a 4-string bass is completely adequate for the sort of music that I would want to play. But I think if you like 5-string basses, then you should stick with them, and that's what you should do. So I'm not here to tell anybody what to do. So I'm just giving you my 2 cents. So I hope that was what the commenter wanted to hear. All right, thanks.